move on to the question number 21. In question number 21, it's telling that f theta is equal to 1 minus tan theta minus 1 tan theta, 1 minus tan theta, 1 tan theta, 1. So here you can see that this is from here, if I subtract row 1 from row 2, then I will be left with 0. Sorry, I am adding row 1, that means I am writing here row 3 is changing to row 3 plus row 1. Okay, so 0, it will be also become 0, it will come as 2. So I can see here from eliminating 2 into 1 minus 1 plus tan square theta, that means 2 sec square theta. So the range of 2 into sec square theta is an increasing function. Everybody knows that the range will lie from 2, since it's squared it can't be negative, so therefore it's 2 to plus infinite. The range will be 2, closed interval 2 to plus infinite. Option C will be the correct one. Hardly these types of questions must take you 10 to 15 seconds if you have good practice. Okay, so even if the exam is not very far away, you have much time left, so please focus on your practice and brush up your known concepts. Don't go for new concepts right now. Okay, so in the question number 22, next question, let's move on to the solution. It's been said that AB is equal to B, and it's also said that BA is equal to A. So they are asking me what will be the value of A square plus B square. So I can write A square as A dot A, and I can write B square as B dot B. Now if I write one of this A as AB, A is equal to BA plus B into AB, I can write it. From associative law I am doing it, from commutative law I am doing it, AB into A plus BA into B. From AB I know that it will be BA. Since AB is equal to B, I am writing this AB as B and this A. This BA is equal to A, I am writing as AB. Again BA is equal to A and AB is equal to B. So therefore A square plus B square is equal to A plus B. Okay, option C is the correct one. Okay, so in the next question, it's question number 23. It is saying that the determinant 1 plus omega into 1 plus omega square into omega plus omega square. Here it's omega square, omega, and it's minus omega square, and it's minus omega square. So have I copied it correct? Don't try to misread the questions. Okay, read the questions very properly in your actual exam. It can otherwise it can give you very much discomfort. Okay, so we know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. So from there, okay, I am doing it in another way. Let's convert C1 to C1 plus C3. So I will be left here with 1 omega square, omega minus omega square. Okay, so from here, if I do it in another way, so let's do it. Let us subtract it. Let's make this to 0. Okay, so if I do it, that means R2 is changing to R2 minus R1. Okay, 1 into 0, 1 0, omega square minus omega square plus omega. And I am also doing R3 changing to R3 minus omega into R1. So it will come as 0. It will come as omega minus omega cube, that is omega minus 1, and this will minus omega square plus omega square, it will be 0. Okay, minus omega square plus omega square, yes, it will be 0. So by eliminating from row 1 and column 1, we will get that omega square minus omega into 0, it will be minus omega. So we will be left with minus omega into omega minus 1 into minus omega square plus omega. So it will be 1 minus omega, and it will be omega minus omega square. Okay, so here you can see that it will ultimately come as, if we simplify, it will come as omega minus omega square minus omega square plus 1. So minus omega square, it will be omega minus 2 omega square plus 1, and by applying this and substituting accordingly with this, you will get the answer as minus 3 omega square. Okay, that means option B will be the correct one. This was also a very easy question, but you can do it very shortly or you can expand it. Okay, it's according to your own choice. So let's move on to the next question. That's question number 24. It's given that 2 cot inverse half minus cot inverse 4 by 3. Okay, so 2 cot inverse I am writing as tan inverse 2 plus tan inverse 2 minus tan inverse 3 by 4. Okay, so tan inverse 2 plus tan inverse 2, I can write it as tan inverse 2 into 2 plus 2, that is 4 by 1 minus 4 minus tan inverse 3 by 4. So it will come as tan inverse minus 4 by 3 minus tan inverse 3 by 4. Okay, so finally it will come as tan inverse minus 4 by 3 minus 3 by 4 by 1 plus 3 by 4 into minus 4 by 3. Okay, so ultimately it will be tan inverse, the LCM will be 12, 3 4s of minus 16 minus 4 3s are 12, it will become as 3 4s are 12, minus 12 by 12 minus 12, it will come as infinite, so it will be pi by 2, maybe pi by 2, it can be D, option D. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. It's question number 25. Okay, if the point 2 cos theta comma 2 sin theta for theta belongs to 0 comma 2 pi lies in the region between the lines x plus y equal to 2 and x minus y equal to 2 containing the origin. So x plus y equal to 2 and x minus y is equal to 2. If this is the point 2 and here is 2 and here is 2, the lines will be like this. So lying on the same between the region between these two lines containing the origin. So this is the origin, so the point P is lying in this, that is from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. This is pi by 2, this is pi, means 2 into pi by 2, and this is 3 pi by 2. So from an option C, we can see that option C is the correct one, because it's being the subset of this, because the entire one is not given in any of the options, so we can find it from this, because we can't take this interval of 0 comma pi by 2, because this entire region of 0 to pi by 2 is not valid. Only this much is valid, but this place is not valid. Again, in this case, from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, only this portion is valid, this portion, entire portion is not valid. So therefore option C, that is from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, can be the most suitable one. So correct option is option C. So let's move on to the next question, that is question number 26. It's saying that number of points having distance root 5 from the straight line this, and the distance root 13 from the straight line this. So let point P be a point h comma k, and be its distance from the first straight line be root 5. That means h minus 2k plus 1 by under root 5 mod is equal to root 5. And in the second condition of the second line, it's 2h plus 3k minus 1 by 5 is equal to under root 13 mod. So if I solve this question, we can get four equations. H minus 2k plus 1 is equal to 5. I am breaking the mod, so I am giving here plus minus sign. Okay, and similarly in this case, 2h plus 3k minus 1 equal to plus minus 5 into root 30. So from here, this equation plus minus, there are coming two equations. And again here, by taking two different signs for RHS, there are coming and another two equations, that is equation number 3 and 4. So there are four equations, and by solving them alternatively from equation number 1 with the equation of 3 and 4, equation 2 to equation 3 and 4, we can get four different values of point P. Four different coordinates for the point P. So there will be four answers. Option C will be the correct one. Okay, so question number 27 is the very interesting one. It's telling that a to the power n plus b to the power n is equal to c to the power n plus d to the power n. So this is a very long question, and you have to for such types of questions from number theory, we have to check options. So I am not checking all the options, I am taking option number D at first. So option number D is telling that a minus b is equal to c minus d. Okay, so in the at the time of the exam, you have to check all the options. Okay, you can't choose option D only, option A only. Okay, you have to check whether it's working for all of them or not. Okay, I am taking option D at first. Okay, so let's check it. A minus b equal to c minus d. In the question, it's been said that let a, b, c, d be any for real numbers, then holds this condition holds for any natural number n if. So if a minus b is equal to c minus d and a square minus b square is equal to c square minus d square, we can write it as a plus b into a minus b is equal to c plus d into c minus d. Here it is given that a minus b is equal to c minus d, so we can cancel it from both sides. So it's coming as a plus b is equal to c plus d. Okay, so now if I take the first given condition of a minus b equal to c minus d as 1 and this derived one as 2, if I add equation number 1 and 2, then we can get that a is equal to c. And if we subtract 2 and 1 equations, equation 1 minus equation 2, then we can see that b is equal to c. Therefore we can tell that a plus b is equal to c plus d for n equal to 1, for n equal to any, for any natural number, n belongs to any natural number, this will hold true. Okay, so therefore option D is the correct one. In the actual exam, I am again telling that you have to check all the options. If your luck is good, in the exam, then option A will correct, and then you don't have to check for the remaining three. But if option D is the correct one or option C is the correct one, then you can't know that which one is correct, and you will have to check consecutively for option A, B, C and D respectively. Okay. So in the next question, question number 28, let's go on to the solution. That if alpha beta are the roots of the equation x squared minus px plus 1 equal to 0, so alpha beta are solutions or roots of this equation. So therefore alpha beta is equal to 1 and alpha plus beta is equal to p. Again it's being said that gamma is the root of equation x squared plus px plus 1 equal to 0. Okay, so gamma is a root, so we can write that gamma square plus p gamma plus 1 equal to 0. Definitely we can write. Then they are asking alpha plus gamma into बीटा प्लस गामा, वैल्यू क्या होगा? इसका वैल्यू होगा अल्फा प्लस बीटा इंटू गामा प्लस गामा स्क्वायर. So I am writing this gamma square at first, then alpha plus beta is p, that is p gamma plus alpha beta. Alpha beta is equal to 1. So from here we have already seen that gamma square plus p gamma plus 1 equal to 0, and here is it's the same thing, gamma square plus p gamma plus 1. Definitely the answer will be 0. That means option A will be the correct one. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, you will get very little much space in your actual exam to do these rough works or calculations. Okay, so please mind it that your handwriting must be small, but don't do silly mistakes by writing small. So in question number 29, it's given that 3 to the power 1 by 5 plus 7 to the power 1 by 3 whole to the power 100. Number of irrational terms. Okay, so let me find the number of rational terms here. So 100 CR 3 to the power 100 minus R by 5 into 7 to the power 100 7 to the power R by 3. Okay, so this is my general term in the binomial expansion. Okay, so how many rational terms can be here? For this term to be rational, you see that this power, that is 100 minus R by 5, has to be an integral value, and R by 3 also have to be an integral value. So if R by 3 has to be an integral value, let us take the values of R as multiples of 3, that is 0, 3, 9, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12 up to 99, because the before 100 the last value, that is integral value, that is divisible by 3 is 99. Okay, and for this 100 minus R by 5, in this case also, to make this an integral value, this 100 minus R value has to be an integral value which is divisible by 5. So what we can see, that if the value of R has to be a divisible of 5 as well as a divisible of 3, so therefore it will have to be a value that is divisible by 15. Okay, what I am trying to say is 100 minus R by 5, we can write it as 100 by 5 minus R by 5. 100 by 5 is भाई definitely ये तो 5 से कटेगा ही, मल्टीपल है 105 का, और ये R by 5. सो R by 5 को इंटीग्रल करने के लिए R को ऐसा एक वैल्यू, इंटीग्रल वैल्यू लेना चाहिए जो डिविजिबल बाई 5 हो, और यहाँ पे भी R हैव्स टू बी डिविजिबल बाई 3. सो हियर therefore 3 से भी डिविजिबल होना है, 5 से भी डिविजिबल होना है, therefore R has to be divisible by 3 into 5, that is 15. So I can take here values of 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. We can't go beyond this because it will exceed 100 if I go to 105. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values, and 7 values, and there are 101 terms in this expansion. So if we subtract this, we will get somewhat as 94 rational terms. We will get 7 to 8 integral terms. We will get 8 rational terms. So if we subtract 101 minus 8, we will get it as 93 irrational terms will be there. We have calculated so much things for finding the rational terms, and here they are asking for the irrational ones, so there will be total 101 equations. So 101 minus 8 is equal to 93 irrational terms will be there. Sorry, it will be 7 actually, it will be 7, and 101 minus 7, it will be 94. But I guess somewhere in the question it's given wrong, there should be an option of 94. Correct answer will be 94 irrational terms. Okay, I think they have missed the options. Okay, the next question is question number 30. Question number 30 is telling that 2x plus 1 square minus px plus q is not equal to 0. So let me break it. That will be 4x square plus 4x minus px plus q plus 1 is not equal to 0. So you can see that this is a quadratic equation which is having no root. since it's already said that it's not equal to 0. So that means for a quadratic equation don't have any root, that means d must be less than 0. b square minus 4ac must be less than 0. That means 4 minus p square minus 16 into q plus 1 is less than 0. From here I can state that 16 plus p square minus 8p minus 16q minus 16 less than 0. 16 is getting cancelled. So here p square minus 8p minus 16q is less than 0. Option C is the right one. Let's move on to the next question. That is question number 31. The previous one was question number 30, I guess. So this is question number 31. So it's given that fx is equal to x square minus x plus 4 by x square plus x plus 4. Then the range of the function of fx will be, I am taking this as y, okay, fx I am taking it as y, so it will be yx square plus yx plus 4y equal to x square minus x plus 4, x square into y minus 1 plus x into y plus 1 plus 4y minus 4 is equal to 0. Since it's been said that x is real, so therefore discriminant must be greater or equal to 0. That means b square y plus 1 square minus 4, I can write as 16 into y minus 1 square is greater or equal to 0. So therefore y square plus 2y plus 1 minus 16y square minus 16 plus 32y is greater or equal to 0. Here I can write that minus 15y square plus 34y minus 15 is greater or equal to 0. So here you have to solve this equation and do the wavy curve method to find your solution. I am not doing this because, okay, so do these calculations very carefully. Here half into मैंने जानबूझ के ऐसा किया कि हाफ मल्टीप्लाई किया और यहाँ भी 2 से अंदर ब्रैकेट का अंदर जो सब चीज़ है 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया और बाहर हाफ मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया. ओके, सो दैट मीन्स हाफ इंटू 2, दैट इज 1. ओके, सो हियर 2y square minus 6y, I can take it as 8y. Okay, okay, let me do it. Y square minus 8y, okay, plus 4x square plus y square. If I take 1y square from here and do it minus 8y, then I have to add plus 2y. So therefore I am doing it plus 4xy plus 2y, that's 2y plus 4x plus 16. Okay, now can you see that y square minus 8y, I can write it as y minus 4 whole square because this plus 16 is there, plus 2x plus y plus 1 whole square, 4x square plus y square plus 4xy 2y 4x, this term is this one, okay, under the second bracket, this second first bracket that I have used here, minus 1, y minus 1, this 1 square, this 1 square has to be combined with another minus 1 to neutralize it. So you can see that this is one positive value, this is one positive value. So if the entire value of this becomes 0 for y equal to 4 and x equal to minus if this is 4 plus 1 minus 5 by 2, if x equal to minus 5 by 2 and y equal to 4, these two values will become 0, so you will be left with minus half. So the least value will be minus half. So which option is the correct one here? For minus half, it's maybe the least value of this will be minus half. It's not there in the option actually. Again the question must be wrong. I guess the question is again wrong. The minus half will be the correct answer, okay, for question number 32. For solution to the 33rd one, it's been said that since fx is a continuous function such that fx assumes only the irrational values, if f of root 2 is equal to root 2, there are so many irrational values and rational values. So if for a single irrational value the value is irrational, to become a rational it can't be a continuous one, so it must be a continuous function and a constant function. To make this function according to the question by given conditions, if then this function has to be continuous, then it must be a constant function. That means for every value of x, fx has to be under root 2, its value has to be under root 2. Therefore I guess this option will be the correct one, option D. F of root 2 minus 1 will be equal to under root 2, because if you take any value of x in this under this function, the value must be root 2 to make this function a continuous one, because it's been said in the question that if from minus 2 to 2 to r be a continuous function such that fx assumes only irrational values. Fx assumes only irrational values. Fx can't take rational values, fx takes only irrational values. So between two irrational values there must be some rational values. Okay, so if there doesn't lie any rational value for the x, then the function can't be a continuous one. So to make it a continuous one, the function must be a continuous one. Okay, even if you put rational values or irrational values in the box in the place of x, the value will be under root 2. Okay, so in the next question, question number 34, the minimum value of cos theta plus sin theta plus 2 by sin 2 theta. 2 by sin 2 theta. Okay, so here we can say that cos theta plus sin theta, we can write it as 2 sin of pi by 4 plus theta. Okay, root 2 plus we can write it as root 2 plus sin of pi by 4 plus theta plus 2 by 2 of sin theta cos theta, or sin 2 theta we can write it, or we can write it as 2 cosec theta, 2 cosec 2 theta. Okay, now if I take f theta as 2 cos if I take f theta as cosec 2 theta, then f dash theta will be minus cot square 2 theta. If I equate this to 0, I will get theta as equal to pi. 2 theta will be equal to pi somewhere, or integral multiple of pi. Therefore, oh no, sorry, there it's cot, then 2 theta has to be an integral multiple of pi by 2. So in that case, here it will come as theta will tend to integral multiple of pi by 4. So in that case, this entire function will be termed as root 2 sine of pi by 4 plus theta plus 2 cosec of any 2 into integral multiple of pi by 4. So integral 2 into integral multiple of pi by 4 will come as integral multiple of pi by 2. So therefore you know that this function can have maximum value as root 2. Root 2 plus this function again can have maximum value of root 2, because cosec n pi by 2 is equal to 1. That means 2 plus root 2 will be the minimum value. Okay, so in question number 35, it's been given that omega, the first one is omega square, omega to the power 64, and second one is I guess omega square. It will come as omega square to the power 64. If you simplify by practice, lots of practice of complex number questions, you will get to know that if you rationalize them, then these two terms will come in the terms of omega, that is cube root of unity. Omega cube is equal to 1. Okay, and we also know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 1. So from here we can write that if we divide 64 by 3, then it will come as 63 is divisible by 3, so it will come as omega. and this is 128. So 125 is the last number which is divisible by 1. If I divide 128 with 3, then 4, and it will come as 2. So 2, it will be remain as omega square. So from here 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. So omega plus omega square will be equal to -1. So -1 will be the answer, option number B. So the next question is question number 36. Question number 36 is actually a very interesting one. Z minus 3 by Z mod is equal to 2. It's given. Then they are asking me the maximum value of mod Z. Okay, so maximum value of mod Z. We can write mod Z as mod of Z Z minus 3 by Z plus 3 by Z. Definitely we can write. We can also say that this is greater equal to this is lesser equal to mod Z minus 3 by Z plus mod of 3 by Z. That means the value of this term is given as 2 plus 3 by mod of Z. So this entire thing is mod Z. So mod Z is lesser equal to 2 plus 3 by mod Z. Now doing this minus 2 of mod Z, I am taking this entire equation, I am solving it by making it a quadratic in terms of mod Z, plus minus 3 is lesser equal to 0. So mod Z square minus 3 of mod Z plus mod Z minus 3 is lesser equal to 0. From here it will come as mod Z minus 3 into mod Z plus 1 is lesser equal to 0. So my critical points are minus 1 and 3, plus minus plus. From wavy curve sign scheme method we can say that mod Z is lying between minus 1 to 3. So the maximum value is coming as 3. Option B will be the right answer here again. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. That is question number 37. Question number 37 is telling that given that x is a real number satisfying this 5x square minus 26x plus 5. This is a very simple question from inequalities, I guess. You just have to check the sign scheme method by wavy curve method. It will come as 5x square minus 25x minus x 25x minus x plus 5 by 3x square minus 9x minus x plus 3 less than 0. It will again come as 5x minus 5 and sorry, let me do this. If I take 5x common, it will remain as x minus 5 minus of x minus 5 by, if I take 3x common, then it will remain as x minus 3 minus of x minus 3. So in the final step it will be x minus 5 into 5x minus 1 by x minus 3 into 3x minus 1 is less than 0. Now my critical points are 5, 1 by 5, 3 and 1 by 3. So here it will come as first 1 by 5, then 1 by 3, then 3, then 5. So plus minus plus minus plus, it will be like this. So here you can see that since it's being less than 0, so minus 1 from 1 by 5 to 1 by 3 will be one set of solution and another set will be from 3 to 5. So option D is being the right one over here. Okay, option D. Okay, so now let's move on to the question number 38. So in the question number 38, it's telling that question number 38, it's telling that xn is equal to, let me write it as product of from x equal to 2 to x equal to n 1 minus 2 by n into n plus 1 by 2 square. So I can write it as pi in x equal to 2 to x equal to n square plus n minus 2 by n into n plus 1 का square. So I can write it as n square plus n minus 2. I can write it as pi n equal to 2 to n equal to n, x equal to 2 to x equal to n. It will be as n plus 2 by n plus 1 square into again pi n equal to 2 x equal to 2 to x equal to n. It will come as n minus 1 by n square. So now xn will be equal to, if I put x equal to 2 in at x, if I do n equal to 2 in here, n equal to 2, then it will come as 4. 2 plus 2 4 by 2 plus 1 3. 4 by 3. If n is equal to 3, then it will come as 5 by 4. Then it will come as, if I take n is equal to 4, then it will come as 6 by 5. In that sense, it will go on up to, it will go up to n plus 2 by n plus 1. And for the second one, there will be one square here. And for the second one, n minus 1. If I do 2, then 2 minus 1 will be 1 by 2. If I take 3, then 3 minus 1 will be 2 by 3. If I take 4, then it will be 4 minus 1, that means 3 by 4, and it will go on up till n minus 1 by n squared. So these terms are getting cutted out. So you will remain with this 3 will remain. So it will come as, there is square, so 1 by 3 square will be 1 by 9, and it will be left with n plus 2 by n plus 1 ka square. And again here everything will get cut out, and it will be left with n minus 1 by n square. So if this is the value of xn, so limit x tends, n tends to infinite xn, you will get 1 by 9 into, if you divide this, you will get 1 plus n plus 2 by 3. So you will guess n plus 2 by n plus 2 by n square, because it will come as 1 by n. So n minus 1 by n, because if you divide 1 minus 1 by n, it will come n minus 1 by n, means 1 minus 1 by n by n plus 1 square. Okay, so if you put n tends to infinite over here, it will come as 1 plus 2 by n equal to 1 by 9 into 1 plus 2 by n square. So if n tends to infinite, this will become as 0, and your answer will be 1 by 9. That means option number A, I guess option number A is option number B is 1 by 9. Option number B is the correct one. So in question number 39, the variance of first 20 natural numbers is, the variance of the first 20 natural numbers, to find the variance, there is a direct formula, that is n square minus 1 by 12. So here n is given as 20, so 20 square minus 1 by 12. 20 square means here 400, that is 399 by 12, somewhere 133 by 4. Answer is 133 by 4. I guess option A is the correct one. So question number 40. In question number 40, it's being said that a fair coin is tossed fixed number of times if the probability of getting exactly 3 heads. So let probability of getting head is half. Everybody knows that, because if we toss a coin, there can be a possibility of getting a head, either head or tail. So that means 1 by 2. Probability of getting tail is also half. So if we take that getting a head is a win, then we can say that after n trials, NCR, we can get half to the power n minus r into half to the power r. Okay, So it has been said the probability of getting exactly 3 heads equals to probability of getting exactly 5 heads. That means in place of r you have to put 3 and 5. So nc3 into half to the power n minus 3 into half to the power 3 is equal to nc5 half to the power n minus 5 into half to the power 5. So n minus 3 plus 3 is n, and n minus 5 plus 5 is also 5. So this half terms will all cut out, and you will be left with nc3 is equal to nc5. From here you will get n is equal to 8. Okay, so there they are asking then the probability of getting exactly one head is, that means r is equal to 1. So in that case 8c1 half to the power 8, it will be as 8c1 means 8 factorial by 7 factorial, that means 8 into 1 by 2 to the power 8 means 2 to the power 32, 64, 120, 256. So it will come as 1 by 8, 3, 32. 1 by 32. Option B will be the right answer. Option B. So we are done with 40 questions till now.